Hello.
Hello, hello, hello. It is
Yay.
showtime with the Millionaire Ladies Mob. We are excited. Today we're going to talk to you about that money machine. Listen, we have a action-packed conversation for you today to fill in, jump into the comments, jump into our DMs. If you have questions, we are here to talk to you about the money machine. Before we go any further, we're going to get started. And just to keep you up to date, we are live on Facebook, we are live on YouTube, and we are also live on Clubhouse. So if you like to listen to Clubhouse, you can jump on the Clubhouse. Carmen will greet you and we are going to get this conversation started. So, first, we're going to do a quick intro. So, I'm going to hand it over to you, Aaliyah. Give us a quick intro on who you are, what you do, and then we'll go from there.
Wonderful. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Aaliyah Sherrod. I've been in the insurance industry for a little over 30 years. It's a long time. I help provide solid solutions to some of the biggest problems that we face today, which is health care. And we make sure that we help our families, those Medicare eligible and employer groups. And I help them to make sure that they don't have those surprise medical bills. My name is Aaliyah Sherrod. I'm the healthcare queen. You can reach me at Aaliyah 10K. And thank you very much for joining.
I love it. Come on through, Carmen. Talk to us.
Oh my goodness. I am in here trying to get us on Clubhouse. I'm not successful as yet, but I will announce when I am successful. It's great to be here with you tonight. Thank you for joining us. If you are joining us later, just hashtag replay and listen to the conversation as we talk about the money machine. Do you have one? Do you know what to do to take care of it? What should you be doing? I want to know. So I am Carmen Bernard, financial services advisor. And I help you to protect your income, to eliminate debt, to create an income stream that you cannot outlive in retirement. Man, that is so needed.
Yeah, listen.
Did you
I'm
see
trying to
what
get some
happened in
more.
the stock market yesterday and today? Everybody was excited yesterday. Yay! Today they're like, oh. So you see what I mean? We have got to find a different way. At least we have to diversify, as well as oh my goodness. As well as I'm helping you to create a legacy of generational wealth. I'm Carmen and I can be found at carmen10k.com.
All right. We got one of our Facebook users. We can't see your name, but hi. We see you said hi in the chat. Shalonda, come on, introduce yourself.
Hello, I am Shalonda Kaiser Mitchell. I am the Money Queen. I can be found on all social media networks as the Money Queen. Or as Shalonda Kaiser Mitchell. I was not watching the stock market yesterday because I don't put all my money in the stock market. So I don't care how low it goes, right? If you want to know how I do it, stay tuned.
I love it. And I'm Saran Baker, and I am known as the Debt Elimination Queen. I can be found at Covered by Saran on almost all handles, or you can reach me at saran10k.com. But for the group, yep, somebody said right, it crashed again today. So before the group, you can reach us at millionaireladiesmob@gmail.com. If you have a question you want answered that you don't want to post in the chat publicly, you can email us directly. If you want to set an appointment with any one of the four queens, send an email and say, I want the money queen, I want the healthcare queen, I want the cash value queen, I want the debt elimination queen. And we will get with you and we will work with you with whatever situation you have. And I honestly didn't know the stock market crashed either because I was on the beach.
So you don't have phones on the beach, huh? You don't have.
I had my phone, but I was checking for the next delivery of margaritas. I ain't gonna front. But at any rate, tonight, we are here to talk about the money machine. Before we get started, I'm gonna give you a little story, right? So this was an 80s classic movie. And when I start talking about it, many of you might even be able to guess. So Aaliyah, Carmen, and Shalonda, if you figure it out, go ahead and yell out the name. So there was a movie, it's a group of kids. They, lived on the beach. They were having a hard time because they realized their parents had money problems. And so they ended up going on this great adventure on a pirate ship and finding all this money. right? To save the family, right?
I think I know what it is.
Go ahead. What do you think it is? What do you think it is?
Goonies.
That's right. That's right. But I'm not gonna tell. And that's one of my favorite movies.
Y'all
Y'all
don't judge
aging
me. I
us.
never looked at it.
Y'all aging
But
us.
but listen. But let's look at it from the money perspective, right? This whole time in this movie, this whole amazing adventure that they've gone on, and bonding with their peers and all, and getting in danger and all that, all stem from the fact that their parents had money problems. Their parents didn't have their money machine wasn't cranking out enough so that they could keep their homes.
I never
Right?
even realized that. It was just a good movie.
It was a good movie, but when you peel the onion back and you really look at, and for those who haven't seen it, it's just one of those cool 80s classics where somehow these kids that are 10 and 12 are unsupervised for a really long time. That wouldn't happen today. But the parents couldn't keep their homes because some millionaires came in, bought all the property to build golf courses or whatever it was they were building. But the family didn't have enough to buy their homes, to pay off their homes, to own them so that they wouldn't have to have this. And so the kids tried to solve their parents' money problem. And so when we start talking about the money machine, the thing is that we think our kids don't know, but they know. They know when we have money problems. They know when things are not quite right and things aren't there for them, right? But there's this one particular scene in the movie where they think they struck it rich. And it's kind of in the beginning where there's a counterfeit money machine that starts cranking out bills, right? And the little guy Data's like, we're rich. And they're fake $100 bills. But they had a machine to make money. Well, the thing is that what would you do if you had a machine like that in your life that cranked out money? That was its whole purpose, was to crank out money. Would you protect it? Would you pay close attention to it? Would you take care of it? Would you do maintenance to it? Would you make sure that you didn't overwork it? You got as much as you needed and could enjoy. What would you do if you actually had a physical money machine? And that's the thing that we're talking about today. And so here's the thing. We're going to give you a clue. You already have one.
Everybody has one?
Carmen has one. Shalonda has one. If you're on Facebook, I see, a couple people on Facebook can't see your name. You have one. If we on Clubhouse now, Clubhouse people have one. If you're on YouTube, you have one too. Now, my question to you is, I just told you had a money machine. That money machine can make thousands of dollars. That money machine can make six figures. That money machine can make millions. That money machine can make billions. But the question is, how are you taking care of that money machine and treating it and maintaining it and protecting it so that it can continue to grow? So I'm going to be, I'm all about the spoiler. So spoiler alert, the money machine is you. The money machine is you. It's what's between your right temple and your left temple. This is your money machine. And your body is the rest, because your body moves around and does all the things. And so my thing is let's throw this out here, ladies. And what would you do if you actually had that physical money machine that we talked about in the example in the movie Goonies?
I get WD-40.
How you gonna come on, Carmen? How you gonna protect it? Tell me how you gonna protect it.
I would definitely get some WD-40 and I'll make sure that I oil all the cranks and stuff so that it don't get stuck, so that it can keep running that machine. I'll also schedule maintenance for it, to have someone come in and look at it and make sure that it's going well. Yeah, I would, definitely check on that machine, because I don't want it to get stuck. I wanted to keep cranking out that money. So
let's apply it to real life, Carmen. So now that you're the money machine, how can you make that apply to people? How should we be protecting our money machine?
Still need to oil it.
Definitely need to oil it. Definitely need to oil it.
You still need to oil it. You still need to get checkups. You still need to make sure that it's in good working condition. But I'm going to ask someone else, what if something happens to it? Well, then what happens? How do you still keep getting money in? Like, what do we do?
Mhm.
You know, like, let's say, like right now, I've been oiling my machine recently. I've been trying to take care of it. And I'm going to be real honest with you guys. I've been trying to making sure I lose some weight because I put on a little bit excess weight. Now that I've lost some weight, my knee begins to bother me. Well, how is that? Right? My knee was supposed to be bothering me when I had the heavy weight, but now I'm down, my knee begins to bother me. But let's just say that this knee continued and now I couldn't do the physical things that I needed to do in order to get those dollars.
Mm-hmm.
Right? What do I do? Is there something that I can do to protect me that if my knee doesn't work for me to be able to go do what I have to do, I still get in dollars?
You know what? I want to bring Aaliyah in, my healthcare queen, because I want you to talk to us because, this is a special, May is also a special month that we could talk about that money machine not being able to work.
So, I know a lot of people, especially insurance people, that we help everybody. But when it comes to ourselves, we lack. So an example is I had a friend who was diagnosed with cancer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? He had cancer, and guess what? Everything had to shut down. He was a one-man shop. So what did he have? He had insurance. He had his residual income coming in. And those are the things as self-employed money machines that we make sure that we have coming in when something happens to us. It happens every day. I have two people in the last month that told me they had a diagnosis of cancer. Never had cancer in their family, never. And what we do is we make sure, and I make sure that I'm protected against that. May is National Disability Insurance Month.
Yep.
And
all right.
We
also have some people in Clubhouse. We want to welcome to Clubhouse. Welcome, Chad. And I need my glasses. You see, this is another reason we need to take care of the machine. But we want to welcome you. We're also live on Facebook. Please feel free to ask any questions in the chat down there as we talk about this important topic, the money machine. And I'm sorry to interrupt whomever I just interrupted, but I just wanted to make sure I welcome the people on Clubhouse and let them know that we're talking about a money machine, and every one of you have a money machine.
Right.
And
welcome, Clubhouse.
Welcome.
Yeah. So guys, make sure your Clubhouse is muted when you are not talking because we're getting some feedback. But
I don't even know how to turn it on again. Go ahead, Aaliyah. Go ahead.
And so that's what I was, disability insurance is, a lot of insurance agents shy away from that. I've shied away from it for a long time because it's difficult, all kinds of things. But that money machine has to keep on ticking. The bills go on, the house note goes on, the car note goes on. If I got diagnosed with something, I would want, maybe I want to go stay with my mom. So we have to make sure that we are taking care of that money machine. And if something happens, that money machine continues to go. And I learned from you ladies recently, and I've been in insurance for a long time. But when I learned about the money queen, the Saran, the debt elimination, I just learned about all this. I didn't know about all the things that we could do with our money to make sure that if something happens to us, we're taken care of and our family's taken care of. I didn't know about that. So I thank Carmen, I thank Saran, and I thank Shalonda for getting me the information and letting me see that there are different ways that we can do that. And I love cryptocurrency. I'm sorry, I do. Okay. Sorry.
Listen,
you don't apologize. Listen, we are not against making money at all.
Guys,
if you have practice,
hold on 1 second.
Okay.
Shalonda, go ahead and mod me so that we can get Saran up on the stage and get her modded. Because you started it. So
okay. Well, but we're not against making money. We can make money any kind of way. As long look, I'm all for everything legal. So if you love it, you can come.
Send money. We make the money. You guys make the
Yeah,
There
make
has
the money.
never really
Now
been.
let's talk about
I'm gonna
the
say this here.
protection.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this here. We have never really had a problem making money as human, even in our community, with all of the things that were set in place systematically not to see us win. We are able to overcome a lot of that. We can
Yes.
make the money. We have no problem making money. We have no problem spending money. We have a problem protecting that money, growing that money, giving that money more than one job, making that money work for us. So what we are doing is what Warren Buffett said, right? He said, if you don't find a way to make money work for you or to make money while you sleep, then you're going to work for the rest of your life. And
Yep,
that's the problem with us. We know how to make money. We can make money. You know who taught us that we can make money even more than anything else? The pandemic. Why is it that millions of people have left their jobs? It's because they have found a different way to make money. There's no problems in making money. It's now we got to talk about how do we make that money work for us.
Right. And I want to bring Shalonda in because I want to talk about what you mentioned, and that is protecting the money, protecting the money machine. Talk to me, Shalonda, a little bit about ways we can protect the money machine.
Y'all know I like to protect my money. I like to protect my money so well that I make sure that I'm physically where I need to be. So I take my vitamins.
Mm-hmm.
I take all of my preventative care options, touching in on the healthcare queen there. When it's time for a doctor's appointment, I'm there. If I have a sniffle or a cough, well, COVID, I think, has scared us all. We get a sniffle or a cough and we're like, to the ER we go, right? To the doctor we go. If you think you have COVID, don't go to the ER. Sorry, my sisters are nurses. They would love for me to tell you that. You think you got COVID? Isolate yourself. Don't go to the ER. But anyways, I take, what'd you say, Carmen?
Unless you cannot breathe or you have.
There you go. There you go.
Right.
And we are in no way, shape, or form medical.
No.
Listen,
Listen,
tell you that.
Now Shalonda about to get us banned on the internet. Shalonda, I guess it's not your turn anymore, Carmen.
What I always tell y'all, I got E&O insurance. I'm good. But no, for real. You really have
and
to
mod me. Right click on me and make me a moderator.
She's talking.
I was gonna message you before Saran asked me to speak and let you know that something is wrong with Clubhouse right now, and it won't allow me to make changes.
So maybe that's what was going on. Clubhouse is messing up. All right, it's all cool. Let's go.
Sorry, guys.
Technical.
Mother Carmen kicked in. But yes, you do have to. There are some things that you need to do to protect your money machine. In order to be sure that your money machine is working the way that it's supposed to, you have to keep it plenished. You got to make sure that everything is where it needs to be. Budgeting, right? You got to budget so that you don't overwork or overspend your money machine. You have to make sure that you know where you're wanting the money from the money machine to go consistently.
I can't put it under my mattress. No.
You can. You know what though? You know what? In this day and age where all these people sitting here getting ready to jump off the roof back in 2008 because they losing their money in the stock market, they probably would have been better off sticking
Clearly.
Because they ain't listening to me when I show up at their door. When I used to knock on their door and try to tell them where to put it, they weren't listening to me. They stuck it over there with the JP, who's, and they stuck it over there with the bank of, A's. And so,
But you know what, guys? I'm going to tell you, we've been kidding around and talking around this issue the number one thing for you to do, and I know that you all will agree with me, in order to protect this money machine is to pay yourself first.
There you go.
Right.
That's the number one thing, is to pay yourself first.
Hi,
And now,
Mipish. Thank you for joining us on Clubhouse. You're in with the speaking with the Millionaire Ladies Mob, and today we're talking about the money machine.
yes. And
Yes.
so when we pull out that first block of money from the machine, the first thing we need to do is to pay ourselves first. And back in the day, our grandparents or whomever used to tell us that we want to put it in a savings account. And I am going to tell you right now that we do not want to put it in the savings account, because the whole point of putting that money someplace is that you have to, that money has to make some money for us.
Mhm.
Otherwise, putting it in the bank is the same as putting it under your mattress. You're
And
actually losing money.
unfortunately, Carmen, to that point, it used to be a better thing. We used to get better interest rates on our
Oh
savings
yeah, we
account
have CDs,
and our CDs. We used to get really great money. But
money
let's talk
market
about
accounts.
right. So let's talk a little bit. Let's get a little technical here, right? Let's talk about how the bank actually works.
That's
And
right.
we talk about this all the time. So you go to, let's say we have $10,000. I saved up this money. I have $10,000. I put it into the bank, and maybe I go get a CD or some other account from the bank. And the bank's going to give me 1%. I'm going to stretch and say 2% because that's not real. But they're going to give me around 1%, right?
Right.
But let's say, 30 days later, I put it into this account, but it's locked in for a year, so I can't technically take it out. But I need some money back to do whatever, some emergency happened or whatever, and I need 5,000 of it back. I got good credit, so I say, hey, let me just go and get a loan from the bank, or I got a house, let me get a home equity line of credit, or some of those things that are available to us. When you go get that $5,000 from the bank's going to charge you an interest rate of 10%, 12%, 15%, 26%. I'm just throwing numbers out here, right? Because it all depends on a lot of different factors. The bank's going to ask you where you work. The bank's going to ask you how long you work there. They're going to want 1,000 pay stubs. They're going to want, a long credit history. They're going to want all the other details. And then they're going to put you in a structured repayment plan. But think about this. You just put $10,000 in that same bank as one of your savings investment strategies for them to hold on to your money, and they gave you 1%, but that's the money that they're using to loan out to other people, right? And so that they've loaned that money out, and then if they've loaned that money out at 12% or any of those percentages that I named, that's called the spread. They make all the money in between what they paid you and what interest they charge the person they loaned your money that the bank is holding on to. And so we get into this kind of weird relationship with the bank because we need debit cards. We need somewhere for our paychecks to go, whatever. We're not saying, go these other alternative routes, but we need those things. But the thing is to really start thinking strategically about if this is how they're making their money. And I'm not against nobody making no money. Let's be clear. But the other thing to consider is where do the banks put most of their money? Where do the banks put most of their money? If anybody can put that in the chat right now, not Shalonda, Aaliyah, Carmen, or anybody else that's a colleague.
I never get to
in
answer
the
anything.
industry. Good night. Somebody saying good night. Good night, Blitzen.
Hey, Sunita.
Thanks, Sunita, for coming. Finish watching later. But if anybody can put in the chat where they're putting their money, that is not a member. It's not a license.
And the first person that puts it in the chat, I got a gift for you.
I got a gift. No, you got 2 gifts coming if you can come up with the answer. You got 30 more seconds. Somebody said reinvestment. Nope, that's not it.
Sunita was leaving until she heard gift.
Right.
No, that's
not where they put most of their money.
Shalonda, I gotta bring you up. Sunita is from Guyana.
Hey,
When we
Sunita.
meet people, we say good night. And apparently it confuses Americans because they're thinking that we're saying good night because we're leaving. That's how we greet people because it's
Oh,
nighttime.
Oh,
So we are saying good night. Just
I
like we
love
say
it. Like
good
good night. Like
morning.
hi, how are you? Good night. I
Oh,
love
okay. I
it.
thought she was saying bye. I was
Let
like,
me, I
Yeah.
gotta school you Americans. This is
Thank
the
you.
foreigner.
Thank you for
This is
schooling
the
us,
foreigner
Carmen. I
girl.
love
I gotta
it.
school you Americans on that. It was too funny. Let me tell you a quick story. I was a teacher for years, and a lot of times we would have our honor programs at nights in the evenings. So I walk up and I'm like, "Good night," and everybody's looking at me like, "What is she talking about?" No one responded, and then I quickly heard someone say, "Oh, is she leaving?" And I was like, "Oh, wait, that's how we greet you. It is nighttime. It's the same way as we would say good evening." All right,
okay,
so
so it's the
that's
opposite for us. Good night.
Well, here
means
in America, you were in America at that time. When you say good night, we're like, peace.
good night.
bye.
listen.
Oh, I love it, Cindy. She said British talk. I love it. I love
Yeah,
it.
that's
Love it.
because we were taught the King's English, and you Americans decided you were gonna do whatever you want.
That's right. That's how we roll. That's how we roll.
I
We
have
were,
no problem being rebellious. I'm sorry. I'm not going to apologize for that.
I think there's 4 people on this video that don't have a problem being rebellious. That's all I'm saying. Okay, so let me bring us back. Let's get back on track. Let's get back.
Thank you.
definitely rebellious when it comes to our money.
So the one thing we want to do is, and I'm going to bring it home because there's one thing that we skirted around a little bit, but we talked about it in a couple of our other videos. Protect the money. I mean, listen, if I had a money machine like that one on the movie, I would have bells and alarms around it, and you wouldn't be able to get near. They hide their money for it.
That's true.
You wouldn't be able
That's
to get
true.
near
You
my.
get that.
You wouldn't be able to get near my machine. I would have rubber, just all these barriers. But I mean, that's not realistic when we talk about the brain and the body being it. But there's some practical things. So one, we're going to protect the money machine, and that means protecting yourself. So if you have to protect your ability to earn income, and Aaliyah talked about it. It's Disability Awareness Month. How many of you actually have disability insurance outside of your job?
That's what I was going to say. They
Outside
wait
of
for
your
the
job.
job.
I get it. Our workplaces, our W-2 incomes, they give us some really nice benefits. But when we
60%.
need it, it's not you need to provide for the difference or the gap. You can't see both of my hands.
That's right.
I work the camera. But you need to provide for the gap. You need to think about the disability insurance in addition to it. And all the other things that they keep talking to you about, they're not what you think they are when they start talking about social security disability. And correct me if I'm wrong, Aaliyah, but doesn't it take like 9 to 12 months for it to even kick in?
Oh, goodness. Some
If you
people.
can-
24 months sometimes.
24 months. And then in your job, a lot of times we have short-term and long-term disability. And that can run out in about 6 months.
Yeah.
And it only pays 60%.
And depending on your job, it might only pay 60%. And so the thing is,
you don't get
what about the
60%
other
of your
40? So if I tell you today, you know what? You need to live off of 60% of your income. Can you do it?
60% of the bills not gonna come though.
I mean,
No.
especially if you are already at a place where you are living at 100% of your income, right?
Correct.
No judgment here for that, right? And the money queen, we'll all meet with you if you want to work on not being at 100% or 110% of what you earn, using credit cards or whatever. But the thing is that can you cut your income that drastically, that quickly, and maintain a reasonable lifestyle? And so that's where the disability insurance is coming. That's where the living benefits insurance policy comes in, and that's where life insurance comes in. And guess what? If you just wake up dead one day, because it happens to more than and I say it, kind of in a funny way, but there are people who did not wake up today. And their families still depend on their income. And so if you're the money machine, we got to protect it. And if you got a husband or a wife and they're the money machine, you got to protect it. If you're at home mom or dad, then everybody need to be protected, because if one of the both of you are not there, then what? Right?
Right.
And
But
then,
Saran, I still want the answer to that question you asked. Where do the banks?
Nobody came up with the answer.
Really?
I'll tell you.
I'm going to give you the answer. Since nobody said it, I'm going to get the prize. No, I'm not going to get the prize. We're going to try, but place that banks put most of their money, and we'll make a post because we have a meme. I actually pulled it the other day. There's the number one place that banks put their money is cash value life insurance.
Boom.
There
And
is,
banks don't even die.
and banks don't even die. They're not even people. They're covering their executives. They're covering their key employees. You know, if once you reach a certain level in the banking industry, you become a part of their long-term plan, and they have to protect you as an asset. And and they become the beneficiary. Sunita says she answered. Sunita, we're gonna give you the prize because you've been rolling, girl. We're gonna give you the prize. Because you've been coming up with all kinds of answers, so we can give you the prize, girl.
He deserves a prize.
She deserves a prize. And she told me good night, and now I'm educated on being good night. Right? But that's where they're putting their money. And so if you ask yourself, so you put your money in the bank. Let's do this. You put your money in the bank in savings accounts, CDs, money market accounts, IRAs, TSP, whatever, all those 3-letter acronym accounts. We put our money in the bank. The bank puts their money in life insurance policy.
Disconnect.
Well, hold on. Let me clarify something really quick. So, as a financial counselor, I do not tell people to not put their money in a bank.
Right. And I'm not saying
because there are some things that you do need to have. For instance, you just need to do your homework or speak to a professional to find out what portions of your money need to go where so that you can keep your money machine oiled. Right. So for your emergency savings, the things that in case you have a flat tire or whatnot, yes, of course. Put that in your 1% or your 0.25% that you're going to get at your bank, right? Because the bank is only going to allow you to withdraw money from there 6 times on the month anyway. So yeah, for that emergency savings, put that there. For your 401k or your TSP, if your company is giving you a match, by all means, take the free money, take the match, right? Make sure that you are paying yourself in your strategy like we're talking about before you do those things, though. So that you're getting what you need. And then everything else falls into place. But you don't want to be doing those things, or you don't want to be fueling things that are going to take away from you, because that's what they're doing. They're taking away from you and putting your money in insurance. So you should be putting your money in insurance first.
Right. Let me jump in. In. Because here's the thing. What we do, right? You do what the banks do. You do what the wealthy do. You don't do what they say, because a lot of times that's not for your benefit. That's for their benefit. And I don't want anyone to walk away thinking that we are anti-bank. We're not. I have multiple bank accounts, but they are used for certain different things. I have several businesses. Right. Each business has to have its own bank account. We need the bank because that's just a system of how things work. But we want to let you know that the first thing that you do is you protect yourself, but you don't protect yourself by saving that money that would be income replacement in a bank. And we are telling you that the number one place, I hate to use the superlatives like best, but an insurance company is a great place for you to put your money to protect you. Why? You are putting away pennies, right? And you are purchasing dollars with those pennies should something happen. Now, we're not just talking. Here's the thing. A lot of people think once they hear insurance, once they hear life insurance, they think death. They think it's going to benefit. It's not really going to benefit me, or it's just going to benefit me if I die. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are talking to you about putting your money in an insurance policy. And of course, there's a portion that goes towards the cost of insurance, but we're talking about putting money in a place that is going to grow at a much better rate. Although we can't promise you rates, there's some we can, because some cash value life insurance, it says we will pay you 3% on your money. We will pay you 4%. And if you can get 3% or 4%, why would you take 0.25%? I don't know. And so basically what we're saying is that when you put your money here in this vehicle, when you use this vehicle, now you have to have it to protect you in the event you become ill. Now you have it to protect you for those big emergencies, not just the car being thing, but something big like a roof. And now you have it to protect you for if you got a critical illness. Now you have it to protect you when your child is going off to college. Now you have it to protect you. It can do so many things with this one thing, right? So we're showing you how you can use it, use that money strategically. Now, some people, I'm gonna get off my soapbox. One more thing. I want to make one more thing here. So some people might say, earlier Saran used that example that I put $10,000 in the bank. And then she says, then I want to borrow some money. So I borrow a loan. So some people will tell you, a lot of people will look at you and they will say, listen, thanks Anita for the share. But a lot of people will look at you and tell you, look, I don't need to borrow the money. I'm just going to use my own money. Understand what you're doing when you use your own money. You're no different from someone who goes into debt, because you have now removed that money from making money from you. Yes. So you are losing even more. In addition to inflation that we talked about, you are now losing that the money that could have been earning for you. And what we are talking about here, ladies and gentlemen, is how you do all of that at the same time. I know y'all were ready for me to say same damn time.
Listen, now let's bring it back, because you said a couple of things. And so I want to bring us back on track a little bit. I'm paying attention, Shalonda, right? So
welcome on Clubhouse, Reggie. Thank you for joining us and sitting out for a while.
Hey, Reggie.
Hey, Reggie. I don't know how to work mine. I'll figure that out next week.
Clubhouse is messing up.
Go back in. But the thing is that when you have all the things that Carmen talked about, right? And so maybe you're way past that. You're in a great place. You got great money. You got this. Here's some other things that we don't think about, right? Because what Carmen is talking about is when you go and use your cash that you could be earning money on, you are losing the future value of the money you could have made on that money by putting it in what we hear people talk about, a parking garage for your money that's earning a higher interest rate for your future self versus spending what you have. You're spending your money so fast. But then there's some other things, because when you start using the money the way Carmen just explained, what you're going to do is you're going to be able to also use it for regular stuff like vacation, like paying off debt, like paying for braces, paying for the other half of the cost of braces when you go to the dental office, because they pay like 50%, and it's a little crazy, right? Especially if you got those little ones, maybe you got 3 of them. They all need braces that day you went to the right? And paying for things, bigger things like that, but you're not going to lose the interest on it. And we're going to go into some more technical videos at some point, either individually or collectively, where we're going to start dropping on our TikTok and Instagram, where you can really understand these concepts a little bit more. And we also want to remind you that this is an information session. This is not for you to go and make a financial decision from this talk. This is for you to set up an appointment with someone to get more information. We want to make sure that you know that, because so many people are just watching these videos and saying, oh, I'm gonna just do what this video said. You're gonna go try to do it on your own. You really need to go with the licensed professional to get the information and get it done right, because we're giving you a portion of hours and hours and hours of practice and hours of education. and continuing education and classes after classes.
Oh, don't say that. Don't talk about it. Just leave it alone.
You know, Saran,
I feel like
Saran.
Kanye. I feel like Kanye West in his albums, like extra classes, extra classes. Extra
Oh my goodness.
But
Look, I tell you, I was in one today from 8 to 8.
Oh my goodness.
But that's really the thing, is to really start thinking about the information that we're doing. And then I want to bring you back in here, Leah, because when we start talking about the money machine, you know, and you focus on you know, healthcare, the thing is that it's not just the mind and the body. It's little things like taking a break, you should not have PTO or paid time off that they come to the end of the year and they tell you use it or lose it, and you decide to lose it. You need to find somewhere to go, sis, bro. You need to find somewhere to go because you need a break.
Right. Or if they give it to you in cash, then what do you do with it?
This is what I'm saying.
I'm gonna tell you what they do with it because I see it every day. Blow it
on Uber Eats and stuff that you get nothing out of. But talk to me about some of the things we could do to protect ourselves health-wise as far as taking care of the money machine, the whole money machine.
The one thing that I encourage everyone to do is make sure they take their wellness exams every year. Okay. People that fail to do that, I can tell you example after example. People that fail to do that, something has been going on in their body for a long time that they could have caught. And one of the main things that is preventable and treatable is colon cancer.
Mm-hmm.
That is treatable. I have a relative that had colon cancer, so I understand, and I know, very close to me. Okay, but as we grow older, and the food that we eat, the air that we breathe, everything is polluting our body. So we have to try to take care of it. And a lot of us are going holistic, we're going vegan, we're going all different types of things because we're trying our best
and
to
that's
keep
good.
Our bodies. It is good. We're trying our best to keep our bodies healthy. But we can also, even if your body, something breaks down, you have to be protected. The thing that I like about Saran and Carmen and Shalonda is that they talk about those, what are they called? The riders.
Living benefits.
The living benefits. Living benefits. Now, I remember Mr. Stewart, we always say, do you have the old insurance or the new insurance? And so those are the things that we have to educate. Education is the key. We want to make sure we take care of ourselves. Have the health insurance that you need. Have the cancer policies that you can buy, which a lot of people, I did a presentation Tuesday. Nobody knew that they could buy critical illness policy alone, on its own. Nobody knew that. And so these are things that we educate people on, making sure if something happens to you, accident coverage, make sure that you're taken care of. Right. Health-wise, do what you need to do. It took me a long time to figure out trying to be healthy. I ate what I wanted to eat and did what I wanted to do, but you pay for that when you get older. You absolutely pay for that. And when you try to get life insurance, what happens?
Your health is your credit in life insurance.
And
if your body is tore up, your credit is bad. and as I always say on my webinars, listen, you better get it before something jump up on you, like the old folks say. Because if you're a melanated person, let me look into the camera, look into my eyes. If you are a melanated person, you have a higher likelihood of contracting cancer, having high blood pressure, or diabetes. Mm-hmm. Get yourself covered before any of that happens. Get your children covered. If you have a history of cancer in your family and you have small children, you need to cover them now, because it could jump, because you have it in your family, it could jump up on anybody anytime. And let's be clear, there's a whole hospital called St. Jude that does what? Treat cancer in children. So it's real, right? And making sure that we do these things, eating right, like she said, and I'm guilty because my aunt been, and I think she's on the live. She just posted. She been texting me talking about, did you go do the colon cancer screening? And I'm like, stop texting me. But she's right. She's right. So I'm like, I did the little kit. She's like, no, go tell him, go to the doctor. But the thing is, you do it. But are you exercising? Are you doing somewhat of eating right?
Walking.
Now, I don't care if you know, as I say, I don't care if you're kind of a poundy girl or guy, or if you're a little bit more
Fluffy.
lovable, a little more lovable than anybody else. You can still be healthy. You can still walk on a regular basis, walk 30 minutes a day, drink your water, and get a reasonable amount of fruits and vegetables into your life, and still be considered healthy. And so, you know, we're not gonna just come up here and talk to you to death about insurance and money and all that. You gotta take care of you. You are the money machine. You are the money machine. The money queen is about to say something, but you are the money machine. You're the money machine.
I just need to say something really quick. It's very important that I say this week. People don't want to get their children insured because, especially in our Black community, they feel like we got to get over this jinxing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You're not jinxing anything, because let me tell you what happens. The child these days are not the child that grew up when we grew up. We grew up tough. These days you have bullying in schools. You have cyberbullying, since everybody is on the computer these days.
Mm-hmm.
You need to protect your children's mental health.
Yes, indeed.
And if you don't protect your children's mental health now, it's gonna be very expensive later, because these days are very timid and shy. And a lot of them are committing suicide, but more of them are not. So the ones who are not committing suicide need therapists.
Mm-hmm.
They need care. And you can do all of that. Not only that, if you wait until they're in that situation, it's going to be I'm really good at my job, really good at it, but it's going to be very difficult for me to get them covered.
Yes.
Cover them now for what may happen in the future.
Exactly.
And especially with the pandemic, hold on one second. Especially with the pandemic, we see more mental health issues coming out in adults and children. We see more aggression. We see all those things. It's mental health, and I think Carmen mentioned it a little bit. It's mental health awareness month as well too. And as soon as that doctor prescribes your child something for mental health, they have now potentially become uninsurable. That's the ADHD medication, which they target our children for.
Yes, they do.
Black children, the ADHD medicine, all those different things. And sometimes you can get them covered, and sometimes you can't. And all those things, we have to protect our kids' future. And we talked about this a couple of lives ago. Some of it is us pre-planning and helping them get ready for even retirement from birth. And so if you don't have those types of things in mind for your children, we need to have a conversation. millionaireladiesmob@gmail.com. We are not here to shame you. We are here to educate you and get you to make the move so you can talk to a professional, so that you can get things in order. Because guess what? If you don't have it in order, somebody else is going to maybe dictating what happens with you or your child, because you need that assistance from that organization, whether it's government or a nonprofit or this or that or whoever or whatever. And so the thing is to put yourself in a position to win now. Put yourself there now.
And what I will say with that, guys, one of the reasons why we say to get you protected as well as your children as early as possible when they're just born is because of some of these things. So once they start documenting, it's almost too late. And so just like you want to protect your child, making sure that they get into counseling and making sure that they they're not bullied. And I'm sorry to hear that happened with your son, Sunita. But let me tell you, this is a way of protecting your child's future insurability when you do it from as early as they're born, 2 weeks old. And if you didn't do it then, the next best time is now, because you are one doctor's visit away or one counselor's visit away from that child potentially being uninsurable. And
Mhm.
what I really wanted to talk a little bit about is the fact that, well, how do I know what to protect myself for? And so there's some rules of thumbs, but
Mhm.
the best thing, of course, is to speak with someone so that we can do a complete analysis for you. And then if what we think or what we recommend is not something that can be done right now, and we won't recommend something that we know cannot stick or be in or you cannot handle. But if what you want and what we are recommending, those don't come, you start where you are. So one of the things that we do, just for people that are listening to us today and might wonder how much should I do, we typically say take 10 times your income, right? But I will say that you should be insured for every $50,000 that you make, you should be insured $1 million. For every 50,000, you should be insured $1 million. So if you make
Wow.
$100,000, you should be insured at least $2 million every $50,000. But the minimum, if you're making 50,000, should be 500,000. But we
Yes.
talked about that before, where we talked about evaluating yourself and how everybody else looks at you and how you need to look at yourself as well. But
Right.
I'm going to put it out there for you to start considering, because that's what this is. Sorrento told
Right.
you earlier. It's about information gathering and then sitting down and really getting deep into it. But for every $50,000 you make, you need to have $1 million. And why do I say that? If something were to happen to you, and let's say, or if you had $1 million of coverage, right? $1 million somewhere, and let's say you decide to turn that into income for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
The way the market and everything is going right now, you're looking like you're getting 1% on that money. And even if you could get 3 or 4% on that money, you really don't have $1 million. You have $35,000 a year. So,
Right.
and can you live on that? So we got to look at it from that way. $1 million is not any money anymore, people. It's not. I'm
That's
just going
true.
that out. It's not any money anymore. Last week, Saran broke down for you how much money you are really making. You guys are walking millionaires
What?
3 and 4 and 5 times over.
Yeah. Look. Don't look. Don't. Let me just break it down again real quick, because we're gonna wrap
Do
up.
it. Break it down.
The human life, your value. If you take, if you're gonna work 30 years, let's just assume most of us are gonna work at least 30 years, right? Doing whatever. If you make $100,000 a year on average, we'll just average it out. That's you're worth $3 million. You have $3 million in purchasing power coming through your hands. Now, a portion of it's going to go to tax and all that other stuff, right? But essentially, you will have earned at least $3 million. Now, let's go to 40 years. Maybe you started working at 20 and you work till you're 60. 40 years, $4 million. You're worth $4 million. And even if you only make $50,000 a year, and let me not say only, if you make $50,000 a year, because $50,000 is still a decent amount of money. If you make $50,000 a year and you work 40 years, you will still have made $2 million. Everybody knows you're worth this money except you. The banks know. The car loan people know. The mortgage companies know. The people you rent your apartments from know. Anybody you buy products from, they know it. The Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Coach. Can I keep naming people? All these people that sell you stuff, they know how much you're worth.
And they're trying to separate you too from it.
and all they're trying to do is separate, like you said, they want to separate you from it. So keep yourself in mind. You're $1 million asset. You're the money machine. And that's
You're the money machine.
You're the money machines. You are the asset. And so we keep having this we're going to keep having different conversations with some additional information, but we are here to educate you and inspire you to take action in a different direction to benefit you for your future self, because inflation isn't changing. Taxes If I had to ask 10 people if taxes are going to be higher or lower in the future, all 10 would probably say higher. I know the 3 people on here are going to say what?
Can I tell you something? If Congress did nothing, right? Absolutely nothing. And I don't have a crystal ball right here, but if Congress did nothing, and they're really good at doing nothing,
don't get us kicked off this here government
taxes will
tonight.
go up to 39%, 39 point whatever percent come 2026. So I'm going to tell you without a doubt, unless Congress does something, taxes is going up in 2026. Now, what is going to happen after that? It's, y'all look and see what the debt is. The national debt tops $30 trillion, and it is going up about $4 billion each day. Taxes is gonna have to go up, and that's going to be another live when we're going to talk to you about what is the best tax bracket to be in. I don't know about y'all, but mine is 0.
I love it. Okay, well, we're gonna wrap up. Let's do a quick outro for everybody. This has been an amazing discussion. We'll be back here, same place, more channels next week, because we'll figure the Clubhouse debacle out next week. User error for me and for Carmen and Shalonda.
Something is going
Definitely
on.
me.
User error for the rest, for everybody today. But we'll be back on all the channels again. And we'll be back on Clubhouse. We'll be back on YouTube. We'll be back on Facebook. And Sunita asked a good question. She said, can we talk to a group of women?
Yes.
If you are watching this live and you have an organization, a church group, if you're in a fraternity, sorority, the homeowners association, wherever, we are happy to schedule a live webinar if that's feasible. And if it's something local enough for us, we would be happy to come to the event and speak to anyone that needs this information. Because the other thing, we didn't get to that portion of the discussion, is the other thing we need to do with our money machine is we need to figure out multiple streams of income from that money machine. Because if one stream leaves us and nothing's wrong with us, right? We don't have a health issue and we didn't die or nothing like that. It just somehow the whole company closes, or they close your division or whatever. What's your plan? What's the backup plan? And so that we'll talk a little bit more about that, because we also train women and men to do what we do to serve in our communities as well. And so, yes, Sunita, you have a group of women, and I know you know Carmen, so definitely reach directly out to Carmen to set something up. But everybody else, you can drop us a message in millionaireladiesmob@gmail.com. I want to schedule a webinar. I want to schedule a personal appointment. I want to get my sugar honey iced tea together with my money from back in the day. But Aaliyah, go ahead and drop everybody we say this in New York, drop everybody your math so they can get with you afterwards.
Oh, okay. Okay. My name is Aaliyah Sherrod. I am on Facebook. You can find me on all social media except for TikTok. I don't know how to do TikTok, but we're going to master that real soon, real soon. But I help families, especially those in our underserved communities. I help small businesses. I make sure that your group, your family is covered. I protect you. I make sure that you know about everything that is available to you as far as subsidizing your health care, everything. I am an advocate for women in insurance also. I want to bridge that gap of equal pay and equal benefits. We're going to, that can be a whole live about what women are paid as opposed to men.
Talk that talk, girl. Talk what you know.
Thank you. You can reach me at Aaliyah10K or Facebook. And thank you so much for joining us.
All right, come on, Carmen. Talk to us, sister.
All right. Man, this was an amazing conversation today. I totally love it. Remember, I am here to help you protect that income and show you how to do it. I'm here to help you eliminate debt and create a tax-free retirement income that you cannot run out of. All right. We already talked about the fact that taxes is going up, and there's a one 4-letter word. Real quick, can any one of y'all tell me what's that 4-letter word that tells you that taxes have to go up? Anybody?
Debt.
What else? Inflation. It's not a 4-letter word, but okay.
That's what I was gonna say.
That word would be math. You and I are going to talk about counting a little bit later, but math tells us that taxes got to go up. And you can reach me, Carmen K. Bernard, at carmen10k.com on every social media platform, including TikTok.
Listen, I told Aaliyah to drop her math, and then you gonna ask a question and the answer is math. Why are you taking my stuff? Anyway, Shalonda, give us
We're
your
never
outro,
on the same
girl.
page. We really got to get these questions pre-planned.
I did. Y'all don't listen. Go ahead.
I am Shalonda Kaiser Mitchell. I am a certified financial counselor, and I help people with their budgeting, creating their budget, saving their budget, saving their money, growing their money. And I always like to drop a tip whenever we talk about if taxes are going to go up or down. Did you know that in 1964 the tax rate was 77%? So we have
I knew that.
So
I don't
of
know if
course
they
y'all
did.
did. So we have plenty of room to go up. So just make sure that when the government raises those rates, that your portion is protected.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. And I am Saran Baker. I was your lead panelist for today, but apparently nobody listened to my questions. And we don't know, just kidding. But I can be reached at saran10k.com. All my information is there. You can link there, even my YouTube and all that. But I am also on Instagram at Covered by Saran, Facebook at Covered by Saran, and my website is Covered by Saran. We have had an amazing time with you. We will be back. Remember, these conversations are for you to take note, take action, and talk to a professional. Talk to a licensed professional. And if you talk to that licensed professional and they're not talking the way we're talking, they don't know what we know. You need to call us. That's why you came to our video anyway. That's why you came to our live anyway. And so if you're watching the replay, use hashtag replay. Like, share, subscribe. Go to our YouTube channel, subscribe. We're here every Thursday at 8:30, no matter where we're located, because I think I keep roaming around and Aaliyah keeps roaming around. We've all been in different places, but that's the beauty of technology. Every Thursday at 8:30, we drop our topics around Monday or Tuesday, so you'll know what we're talking about. But come on through. And I see Shalonda is dropping, a few people are dropping their contact in the comments. Go ahead and drop that in the comments, but reach out to a professional to set something up. And we are the Millionaire Ladies Mob. We are on TikTok. We are on Facebook. We are on Instagram. And we are on YouTube. You can find us.
And Clubhouse.
And so you can find us. So
and you can
we
reach
are
us at
out. It's 9:32,
9:32,
and we are out.
Bye.
millionaireladies@gmail.com. And for the people in Clubhouse, we're going to go ahead and end this conversation.